started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everybody. I just moved the camera. Welcome to the Who Knows podcast. I, as you all know or may not know, am your host, Julio. And today, I have this super cool dude that goes by the name of Kevin.
Thanks for having me.
AKA Eminem, AKA Superman, Spider-Man.
That's the one I get mostly, bro.
Spider-Man's the one that you get the most?
Peter Parker. That's the guy.
Peter Parker.
Everybody says I look like. Yeah.
Well, do me a favor, guys. If you're watching this, go ahead and comment down in the comment box. Tell me who you think he looks like the most. Does he look like A, Peter Parker, B, Superman? What's Superman's real name?
Or the guy from Lord of the Rings.
What guy? The Hobbit?
Yeah.
Frodo?
The main character, yeah.
Frodo Baggins?
Frodo Baggins. People say I look like him too.
No, you do not. To me, you look more like Eminem, but that's because that's how I met you. When I first met you, I was like, this is Eminem sitting right next to me, drawing some sick elevations. But how's it going, man?
Going pretty good, man.
Yeah, how do you feel?
Can't complain, bro.
Feel good?
Everything's going smoothly, you know?
Yeah, this wonderful world that we live in, everything's going good. I agree with that.
No school, which is the best part.
Yeah, you graduated. Well, we graduated recently.
Yes, sir.
And what have you been up to since then?
Nothing, man. Selling drugs, you know? Nah, just kidding.
Allegedly. I like to say allegedly after everything here.
No, just working, you know? Working and just...
Yeah, you got a new job. You got a new job. You're working in your field.
Yes, sir.
You're doing architecture, which is great.
Yes.
What got you into architecture?
Well,
I want to start deep. Let's figure something out. Let's figure who this guy is.
Well, basically, I've ever since I was a kid, I've always been inclined into drawing, creating stuff. So, one day I always like building stuff too.
Like Legos and things like that, or did you actually
No,
build?
As a kid, I mean, I first started with Legos and stuff like that, but then I just started to just like build things and
Get closer to the mic, by the way. The waves are going crazy over here. There we go. Hug that baby.
Am I good there?
Yeah, you can move it closer if you need to.
Right there.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, so you were saying you always liked building since you were little. Like, what kind of things would you build?
Well, I used to build a lot. Like I used to build cars and stuff, and I used to design them and kind of paint them and stuff like that.
What were you building them out of? Boxes or?
No, these little hydraulic cars that you would like paint them to. I don't know if you ever.
No, I never played with that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
and how did you make the connection from that into architecture? Because like you told me once you didn't decide to go straight into architecture. You were doing dentistry, was it?
That's
Okay, so here's a real question.
Right.
Why dentistry?
Basically, to be honest, I did it because it was a field that you were able to, that once you graduate, you were able to
Find a job, make money.
To find a job, it was really easy to make money and stuff like that.
Is anybody in your family a dentist or any friends? No,
not at all.
So you just figured this is one of those things like being a doctor or a lawyer, something you hear that always makes money and you're always gonna have a job.
Right. I took one class and I didn't really dig it. I was like, oh, this is not for me. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna try architecture. I tried architecture and I just stuck with it. I liked it.
What did you know about architecture before you started? Like, what was your thought of architecture?
Well, when I got out of high school, to be honest, I didn't know what architecture was. I looked into it. I found interesting that it had to do with design, with building, you know, and I just went for it, bro.
Did anybody ever tell you that architects had to be really good at math or really good at drawing?
Everybody.
That was like,
that's the first thing that everybody asked.
Everybody who wasn't an architect, right?
Right. Everybody always says, "Oh, you must be good with numbers and stuff," and it's like, dude, no.
The opposite. Those are engineers.
Yeah.
So, what was the first class that you took, architecture-wise?
The first class I took, well, I took 3 classes my first semester. Um, it was design one, and then it was that drawing class we had.
That's right. It was like a technical drawing class. That's where
Right.
we learned what a floor plan was, what an elevation was, how to draw them, and
Right.
everything by hand.
Right.
Right.
And the other one was history.
Actually, going back to that, that's the first time that I ever thought, like, met you, and that was the first time that I heard someone say, "Hey, remember the girl that was sitting in front of us?" And she turned around and she was like, "Hey, you kind of look like Eminem," and I was like, "I'm not the only one."
That's so true. Yes.
That was a class, yeah.
Wait, I think she said Spider-Man.
No, she said Eminem, 100%. Yeah, because she was like, "You look so much like Eminem. Did you know that he's my favorite rapper?" And I was like, "Girl that we just met, we don't know anything about you. How could we know that Eminem was your favorite rapper?"
That's right. Yeah.
But that was the first time that I was like, "Okay, I'm not alone here." Definitely, you know.
That was what 7 years ago, something like that.
So it's 2018. I graduated high school in 2010, and I started architecture classes in like 2012. Because before that, I was doing all the other prereqs. Right. I took a little bit longer doing that because I took extra classes for no reason.
Yeah, me too. Same here.
But when I was in high school and I would tell people I wanted to be an architect, that's what they would always tell me. You have to be really good at math, and you have to be really good at drawing.
Right.
And I was okay at drawing. I wasn't bad at it, but I wasn't great. And as far as math goes, I was, and I'm still horrible at it. Like, I can defend myself in math. Right. You know, we had to take a few structures class in upper division, right? But what was your overall experience like, design 1 through 4?
Okay, so design 1, that was a shock.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is this? This is intense.
So let me interrupt you. So for you guys that are watching and you have no idea about architecture, when you start out, when you start the career, you take designs leveled 1 through 4.
Correct.
And this is where they teach you the elements of design, how to design, what it is. You know, they give you a little bit of history and whatnot. But when you first join it, you have no idea what you're getting into, and it's nothing like what you ever imagined. Right. So what was that like?
Design 1, it was really tough. What was hard about the design class is how much work they give you in the beginning. Because like you're new, they want to make sure you really like the career, so they just throw so much work at you.
Yeah, they want to weed out all the people that don't really care.
Exactly. They want to. So yeah,
we weren't in the same design level 1. So who'd you have?
I had Culver.
Yeah. You had Culver. That's right. He also taught history, right? And what kind of projects did you do in design 1? Like, what was the intro? What did he have you do? I know it was a lot of work, but
basically we started off with the cube, which is basically you play with planes.
Yeah, that's where they
make
teach
like this cube with like different planes and stuff. We started with that, and then we had to build a piece of furniture, referencing that cube.
And what planes. So the cube? Did the cube reference anything, or was it just you making it up?
From what I remember, yeah.
You just don't remember what it was?
I mean, it was 7 years ago, you know.
Yeah, 6 or 7 years ago, yeah. And what? Hold on, because I just had a question in my mind that I just completely forgot. But okay, that's fine. But you were taking this class, and it was a lot of work. But did it scare you away from architecture, or did it interest you more, even though it was different?
It was hard, but it interested me. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna try it out.
Because it was nothing like building cars. It was nothing like anything you had built before.
Nothing.
Because when you're building those cars, you knew what the end goal was. But when you were starting out in architecture, you didn't know what the end goal was. Right? Because when we first started designing, or when we first started learning about architecture, we design houses the same way. You know, we draw a little triangle roof.
Triangle roof,
the little square window, the door, the sun on the right hand corner. And then when you start
designing,
it's completely different.
Yeah, there's so much more to it.
Yeah.
But then I kept on design 2, 3, 4. Design design 2 and 3, I had the same. No, design 2, 3, and 4. I had the same professor, which was Ortega.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I had you.
Well, in design 2, it was Mello, and
Mello.
it was Sonny.
Right.
It was split into two because it was a summer class.
That's right.
Right. That's what we started hanging out.
Right.
For real, officially. Yeah. And then we had Ortega 3 or 4, and that was crazy.
That shit was intense, bro.
Tell me what that was like for you,
bro. For me, just the fact that first of all, is the professor was a character, you know, like you would come into class and he would start making fun of you and start saying jokes, and half the class was saying jokes, so that was fun. But the other half of the class was pretty serious, you know. It was a lot of work you had to produce in a very short amount of time, you know.
Yeah, my favorite story from that time was I think it was design 4. And we get there, it was Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays that we were taking that class.
Right.
And the first day of class, which was a Monday, we get there, and for homework, so these are 4-hour-long classes. For homework, he tells us, I want you guys, he gave us a section, and I think it was a floor plan and a section of a building, a really complicated train station. And he's like,
remember that assignment.
I want you guys to by hand pen on vellum, right? Which, if you're using pen, you can't mess up. It's by hand. I want you guys to draw 15 of each. Was that what it was? 15 of
15? I think it was not. That's too many drawings.
You think so? I'm pretty sure it was, because it was a lot 15? Of work. You just forget. I think it was 15 copies.
Like, okay.
I think it was like 50 copies. Anyways, whatever it was, he said, you guys better not copy. You guys better not trace. I want you guys to work on your hand-eye coordination. Right. So you're going to be looking at this drawing, and you're going to be drawing on the other side. No ruler, no nothing. And it has to be perfect. This guy was insane in that sense. And me personally, I didn't cheat. I did 100% how he told it, and it came out horrible. And then on Wednesday, when I get to class, you're pinned up. You're proud of your work. And I'm like, dude, Kevin, you're awesome at this. And you're like, oh, thanks, man. You know, I worked really hard on it. And I was like, did you trace it? And you were like, yes, but don't tell anybody. Dude, Ortega comes into class, bro. And he looks straight at your drawing, and he's like, with a smile on his face, he's like, whose is this drawing? And then you're like super proud. You're like, me. It was my drawing. And then he looks at it, and then he looks back at you, and he was like, it's really nice, Kevin. You didn't happen to trace it, did you? And you were like a soldier, bro. Poker face. You're like, no, I did that. That's my talent. That's my talent. I did that. Yeah, and he was like, are you sure? You wouldn't be lying to me, would you? And again, dude, poker face. You're like, no, sir, I'm not lying. That 100% was me, and I did it.
I remember I got so nervous. I remember I got so red.
Yeah, no, you didn't. You know? That's a thing, because I was looking at you. Dude, I was about to tell on you. I was so under pressure. I felt so much pressure from you, like, for you, that I was about to be like, he did it, Ortega. He traced that thing. Leave him alone. Take me instead.
Yeah, but he knew, though. I mean,
he knew, but at the same time, he didn't. Because you traced it. You weren't dumb about it. You traced it, but you kind of messed it up a little bit, you know? Like, you didn't do it 100%. You were like, you know, let me make this line a little bit more squiggly. I think you even used a ruler and everything, dude.
Yeah. Bro, it was 15 drawings, bro.
It was 15 drawings.
This guy's a savage. How the fuck do you expect one person to fucking trace, a detailed drawing? Dude, that's crazy.
Well, their argument was that when you get to the field professionally, you're going to be working a lot. You're going to be probably doing a lot of overtime. And so you want to make sure that there's no surprises. That if you ever have to stay late in the office and you have to work extra, that you're not going to complain because you went through this torture already.
Right. But that's what it was. Is that we didn't know that.
We didn't know that. Yeah, we were just like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? That
assignment was just to see how much you can take, you know?
Yeah, and he didn't stop there. It kept getting worse. Yeah. Then one time he wanted us to make 40 hand models. You remember that?
Yeah,
the little paper folding models?
Yes, dude.
And the worst part of it was that, I don't know if you remember this, but he would bring coffee sometimes, Cuban coffee, to class.
I remember, yeah.
And I'm going to say this story. It's kind of it kind of pisses me off, but I'll say it. I made a model one time, and you made fun of it. You were like,
It looked like a
It
dog.
looks like a dog. I didn't
Bro,
see it, dude. It didn't look like a
exactly
dog.
like a fucking dog.
I wish I had
remember
that so I
when-
can show it, but
Right.
I think well I'll get to it what happened to it. But anyway, he grabbed that model when he got to class because in architecture you do these things called crits. So after you spend the whole week working on your models, your drawings, you pin them up, you put them in front of the class, and then the professor goes up and he bashes them. They never say anything good about them. They
Right.
only talk garbage. And he went up to mine and he grabbed it and he was like, he didn't even hear you say that because you said that before he was in there.
No, yeah.
He
Yeah, I
grabbed the
remember.
model and he looked at it and he was like, whose is this? And I was like, mine. And he's like, this looks like a dog. And I was like,
And then he started barking. I
he
remember-
grabbed it. He was like, Sparky, settle down. Settle down, Sparky, settle down. And I was humiliated, dude. Everybody was laughing at me. I felt like I was being bullied.
Dude, I remember your face, bro. You were pretty serious.
Yeah, I was. I
remember.
was kind of
remember,
mad. And because at the beginning you take that personal, dude. You spend easily 60 hours a week
Yeah.
doing your work, and then they ridicule it. You know,
Yeah.
you take it personal.
Yeah.
Which by the end of your career or your academic career, it's like it's not, you don't take things personal anymore.
Right.
As architects, or as architecture majors rather, we have like thicker skin. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Of course.
Criticism doesn't get to us the same way. If it's constructive and we feel that it would better whatever we're doing, we definitely take it into consideration.
Yeah.
But you know, if people are like, "You're ugly," you know, whatever, we really don't care
Yeah.
because of
We
all this
kinda-
torture that we went through.
Yeah. We're kind of like immune to it, you know?
Yeah, and anyway, so what happened to that model was that he grabbed it, and I was like, "Oh, I'll fix it. I'll take away the dog-like qualities that it has." And he's like, "No."
You said that?
Yeah, I think
was
something
like,
like that. I was like, he's like, "No, you're not." You know why? He grabbed the garbage, he threw it in there, he smashed it.
You're kidding me. I
You don't remember that, dude? He did that
No.
a few times to different people, and then he poured coffee all over it. He poured coffee all over it. I had to redo.
Jesus.
Man, and people don't understand that architecture materials are so expensive. One little
Yes.
piece of wood like this, a square, like let's say a 1/16 of an inch, right? It's like as thick as probably 3 toothpicks put together, right? This long, that costs like $4 right there.
Yeah.
I probably spent on that model $50. You know, I felt like crying back then. Now I laugh. Now it's funny to me.
Bro, I had a very painful. I remember he gave us this assignment that we had to draw something, right? It was the elevation. I don't know if you remember that. We had to draw like an elevation
Mm-hmm.
of a building.
Mm-hmm.
We had to trace it. I traced that thing, bro, and I remember it was like 4 in the morning. I was finishing it up, and the pen, the ink pops and it spills all over my drawing.
And destroyed it?
Yeah, bro,
Yeah,
completely.
because you can't clean that. It's
Yeah.
like it spilled on the actual drawing.
Yeah. Like the crazy thing is I was done with that drawing, and the pen popped and it scattered all over the drawing.
How long did it take you to draw
Dude,
that?
It took me hours, dude.
And
talk
was
about,
this the
like,
night before?
This was the night before, yeah. I didn't get no sleep that night. I did it again. I completed the drawing again. I put it up. I'm like, bro, this guy better say something about this drawing, bro.
something good.
Yeah, something good. He just looked at it and just kept walking. I was like, damn, bro.
Stabbed to the heart.
Yeah, dude.
All right, but then it got a little bit easier as we moved up, right?
Yes.
Like we still had a lot of work, but you know, design 5 through thesis, it was a lot of work, but I feel like
but
the professors weren't as terrible, you know, and they still gave bad crits and they still ridiculed you, but it wasn't as bad. I don't think.
yeah, they weren't as hard. No, they weren't like as strict, right?
Yeah, and
I
the thing
felt-
is that design 1 through 4 was very conceptual, so we had no idea what we were doing.
Exactly.
Once we were getting in the hang of it, we're out of there. You
Yeah.
know, it was conceptual. We didn't know what the heck we were doing. The cube, for example.
Right.
I still
right.
have no idea what I was doing. Well, I do, but at the time I didn't, you know. And once you get to design 5, that's when we started doing actual buildings and structures, pavilions, you know. That's when we started actually learning the elements of real
Building,
design, right?
Of real design, right?
What was like your favorite design level or project?
My favorite project.
Remember, talk
Well-
to the mic.
Well, I like the comprehensive project because I think that's the semester that I learned the most about architecture. Cause that project really made you think about how a building was gonna be constructed. You know, how it's gonna be erected, and you had to take into consideration structure,
Building codes.
building codes, and all that stuff. So I like that design.
Mm-hmm. What
That
was
one was one
your
of
what was your least favorite?
my least favorite. Um, are we talking about like from the design five up or
Any design, any design.
my least favorite? I think it was design 6.
What was design
Yeah,
6?
design 6. It was wait, was it design 6? I'm sorry, bro. I'm trying.
No, it's cool, man.
Wait, design 7.
Mm-hmm.
It was fuck, I forgot.
You forgot what it was?
Yeah, I forgot.
That's how bad it was. You were like, forget this, dude. I'm erasing it from my mind.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I have a favorite. I think my favorite class overall was design 6 or 7. One of those two. I don't remember. It was in the summer. And the reason I loved this because I didn't know how to use Photoshop. And that teacher, she didn't care what our building was. She just wanted us to do it all in Photoshop.
Right.
And she really taught us how to Photoshop, and I fell in love with the program. I still use Photoshop even at work. When I'm working and my boss tells me, hey, I need this, I need that, I need this elevation, I need this rendering, I always take it to Photoshop. It's like, it's such a powerful tool, man.
Yeah, it's
Photoshop.
Tool
It's quick. You know, you can make it quick. You could do like sketches on it. You can get very detailed on it.
Right, right. Yeah.
People don't know the power, man. It doesn't
Oh,
only work for
Photoshop.
making you skinnier or fatter, you know,
Yeah.
or buffer.
Photoshop is the shit. I
Yeah.
love Photoshop. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I got a question for you. Let's say that there was someone. Let's say you didn't know them, right? But they tell you, "Hey, Kevin, you don't know me. I know you because I know your name. But I wanna start architecture. You know, what advice would you give them?"
I'll tell him. Well, I'll ask him why architecture. You know, like why do they want to study architecture?
Okay.
But
What if their answer is like, I don't know, it's cool. I like the idea of designing buildings.
Well, I'll first tell him it's a brutal career.
Brutal in what way? Like the torture
It's
way?
very time consuming. I'll tell him it's very time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
You have to dedicate a lot of time to it. There's gonna be nights that you're not gonna be able to go to sleep. You're gonna have to do all nighters and stuff, and be patient. You know, be patient when it comes to everything. Models.
I guess
doing
not.
Drawings.
Don't take things personal.
Yeah, don't take things personal.
When
Criticism,
they criticize you, they're gonna criticize
That's the
you.
number one rule. Yeah, don't take nothing personal.
Yeah.
You know, it's a learning experience.
Yeah, I agree with that. The only, I guess, difference that I see is the whole all-nighter thing, because that was another misconception that you just reminded me of. Everybody would always tell me, "Man, you're not gonna sleep. You're not gonna sleep,"
Yeah.
and it's true.
In the beginning, it
In
was
the
like that.
beginning,
Yes,
I barely
but
slept. But then again, I was also working 40 hours. I was working at a bank for 40 hours, and I only had the weekends to do my work. So I wasn't hanging out with my friends. I wasn't going out. I was just doing architecture the whole time, like 24/7 or 24/2, because Saturday and Sunday, and then a little bit after work here and there. But once I got out of design 4, I think I pulled maybe 2 all-nighters after that.
after design 4, I think I only pulled very few, bro.
Yeah.
I think like 2 or 3 the most.
The reason why people do all-nighters is because they're not organized. So you hear that, guys? If you don't, I want to take this very seriously right here. If you're pulling all-nighters, it's because you're not organized. So get with the program, relax, write down schedules for the love of God. Don't be pulling all-nighters. It's not good for you.
Amen to
Makes
that,
you
bro.
makes you older. Makes you look
Yes.
older. Look
No,
how young we look. We're 47 years old. Do we look 47? I don't think we look 47.
not at all.
We look like we're 26, 27 years old.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, man, we're getting close to the end here. I want to do a little game with you.
Let's do it.
This is the 3rd time we do this game, and I hated it at first. Then I liked it. Then I kind of hated it again. So I don't know how I feel about it. So that's why I'm trying it with everybody until it finally either dies or thrives, you know.
Okay.
But the game is called I call it 5-minute news. And what I do is that I go through my news articles, things that are pushed to my phone. I mention the headline to you. If you don't care, you don't say anything, I keep reading them. If it's something that calls your attention, you can say something on it. It could be funny, it could be serious, you know, because there's stuff here that's about health, stuff about politics, current events, whatever. And yeah, that's the game. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Let's roll this thing then.
Let's do it.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open up the app. Why did I open up YouTube? All right. So let's start this. Dogs go out of their way to help upset owners, studies show. You have a dog.
Okay.
Do you think it goes out of its way?
To upset owners? Yes. 100%.
Why so?
Why? Because sometimes they do things on purpose to bother you.
You think?
You can tell. 100%.
Do you think that they're sentient beings, Kevin?
Dogs are pretty smart, bro.
Yeah?
I think so. Yeah.
So you think when they do
think
things,
they
they're
have the
doing it to upset
capability-
you?
Yeah, they fuck with you. 100%, dude.
All right. The next one is Demi Lovato hospitalized after suffering apparent overdose.
She died.
She didn't die. She's hospitalized. She had an overdose on some kind of drug. We could skip it if you don't care.
Okay.
But I care. I care about every human being out there. And I hope that she's okay. So do you, right, Kevin?
100%.
The Tour de France had to be stopped after riders were hit with tear gas. What the heck?
What the fuck?
That was probably like people. This is not a place to get your news, people. I just read articles and we talk about made up news at some point. And Kevin doesn't seem to care about that one. Let me skip these ads.
Keep on.
If you want to see some epic space action, look up on July 27th. Now, I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen on July 27th. You're going to tell me what's going to happen on July 27th. Why do we have to look up at the sky, Kevin?
Because you're going to see, I don't know, Mars, Jupiter.
How close is it going to be? Wait, is it going to be Mars and Jupiter at the same time?
Well, you can see Mars now, actually, if you look up into the sky.
Okay, so then
like
it's
this
not
red
Mars.
Dot.
Where is it? On the north side?
I have no idea. I just know if you look up in the sky, it's a red dot. You can see Mars.
So you heard it here, guys. Look up into the sky, look for that red dot, and that's Mars.
That's Mars. Yeah.
Kevin also studied spatial engineering, so he knows exactly what he's talking about. But no, man. Why July 27th? What's gonna happen? You said Jupiter.
July 27th. Fuck,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Make it up, man. Tell the people.
July 27th. I don't know. I don't know, dude. I have no idea, bro.
Google it, people, because Kevin's
it.
not helping.
I
All right.
know.
These 9 behaviors could cut your dementia risk by 35%. Is that something you care about? You're not really into the news, huh? You see why I kind of hate this game? I kind of hate it because people are like, so far everybody that I've brought into here, they're like, I don't really care about any of this stuff.
Keep on.
All right, let's do
like
this.
it. I'm just trying to.
You're trying to, yeah, that's fine.
Keep on.
Amelia Earhart's last days. New distress call analysis provides intimate portrait of her final week. These headlines are horrible, man. Okay, I'm not reading anything about health anymore.
Keep on.
Life may have existed on the moon 4 billion years ago. That's an article that came out 1 day ago. You think that's true? I think we'll end it because that's pretty interesting. What's your view? We have a few minutes here, but what's your view about like extraterrestrial life or anything like ghost or any mythical creature?
Well, basically, when it comes to like extraterrestrial, I do believe that there is other life out there. You know?
Do you have proof?
No, I don't have proof, but
You've never seen anything? You've never seen an alien, a ghost, nothing like that? You've never heard a weird sound?
Yeah. I mean, one time I saw some fucking. I went to the beach, at night, and I looked up, and I remember seeing this fucking, like, it looked like a star that was like zigzagging.
Really? Were you the only one that saw that?
No.
There was other people with you?
Yeah, there was this other person with me, and we looked up, and I pointed it out. I'm like, yo, look at that. And it was zigzagging, bro.
Was it
like
a big
Z.
star? Was
No,
it little?
Imagine a star, like a normal
Regular star.
a regular star, but it starts to zigzag. And I'm like, what the fuck? That's crazy. That's like the crazy shit I've seen when it comes to like I will.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that. That's pretty crazy though. Like if I saw a zigzagging star, I wouldn't say it was aliens immediately, but I'd be like, okay, that's pretty weird.
Yeah.
To see something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
But anyway, man, thank you so much for coming and joining me on this stereo audio visual journey, right? Of enlightenment.
Thank you, man.
Is there anybody you would like to give a shout out to? Any of your friends, any of your family members, any of your pets? Is there any product that you would like to shout out that you probably started recently using?
I would like to give a shout out to I don't have anybody actually.
You don't have anybody, bro?
Nah.
Not even your dog? People surprise me, man.
Fucking dog.
Your dog, but look at your dog, man.
My dog.
Shout
out. His name is Koki.
Koki.
You
Tell him you
dog.
love him. Tell him you love him.
I love him to death.
All right, man. Thank you so much for coming, dude. I really
Yeah,
appreciate this.
100%. Thank
See you next time.
Later.
See you guys. If you have any questions or comments
Peace.
or anything that you would like to ask Kevin, leave a comment down below. We'll address it. Anything that we talked about today that was interesting or that you hated, also leave a comment. Follow me on Instagram under, I think it's at Who Knows Podcast. Yeah, I think that's what it is. And definitely subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much. Peace.